Welcome back, friends. I'm Susan Clifton. If you haven't been here before, I'm an artist in residence at Baca in Pompano Beach, Florida. Pompano Beach is a town just north of Fort Lauderdale. In case you haven't been here before, you should really check it out, especially Baca. It's one of our, it's been around about 6-7 years, and it's just added a lot of vibrancy to the city. Today I'm going to do a swipe pour. Now, pouring is not something that I do on a regular basis, but people do enjoy it, so I'm going to do one for you today. So the swipe is the easiest one to learn. So let's get started. So here's what you're going to need. I am going to use this inexpensive, I think this is 8 inches from like Michael's or one of those type stores, craft stores. And so we're just going to use this canvas. We're going to use Floetrol to mix with our paint. I'm going to use gloves because it's toxic, these chemicals. You don't want to get them on your fingers. And I forgot my popsicle sticks, so we're going to use spoons, or at least I might use the end of the spoon. And we're going to use little cups. And let's see. I have a hammer because I'm going to put in these little push pins into the bottom of my canvas to raise it up off the table. And I am using a drop cloth to catch the paint because it's going to spill over the sides. The thing I forgot to mention is we have to have some silicone. And what this is this is actually treadmill belt lubricant. And we add this to the paint and it makes beautiful cells. So we're definitely going to add this at least to our colors. And our swipe color is going to be white. And I don't put any silicone in the white. And we're going to add a little black too, just for contrast. So the colors that, besides the black and white that I mentioned, the colors that we're going to use are green gold by Golden. I like the fluid acrylics because I don't have to add as much water to it. This is the phthalo green, which has a transparency to it and it's dark, so it'll also give us some contrast. This is a permanent violet dark. I think these, oh, and then this is a red that I picked up at one of the craft stores. It's already pre-mixed pouring paint. Not exactly sure how well that's going to work, but we'll see. I don't trust this paint as much as I do Golden, obviously. So, but I think this is a nice color combination along with black and white. So let's see how it goes. So I'm going to start by pulling off this plastic. And I'm going to put these, where are my push pins? I'm going to hammer these in. These are going to make little feet. And you should try to make this as level as possible. So if you have a little level, I'm going to use my phone. Something doesn't feel level. So I don't know if you could see this, but it says -2 degrees. So I think it's close enough. In my experience, it's been close enough in the past. Okay, I'm going to put my gloves on. So I've already mixed up my white paint, and it's drippy. I'm going to make sure I mix it up some more because I used, for the white paint, this paint that I had in a tube, and it's very thick. So I had to add a lot of water and a lot of Floetrol, and I want to make sure I get all the lumps and bumps out. Okay, I'm also going to take off my watch so I don't get any crazy paint on my... All right. So I'm using a different cup for each color. I added some Floetrol to a cup just so that I can control it better. It's such a big bottle, it suddenly comes pouring out really fast. You should shake this really well before you use it. So I'm going to add about 50-50, and I just eyeball it. I don't get crazy with the scale and measurements and all of that, and I didn't pour enough. So at first it starts to make your paint look milky, but if you keep mixing it until the color is full strength, then you know you've probably mixed it pretty well. You also want to make sure that it's drippy. If it's not drippy enough, then you have to add some water. And of course you want to use a different stick for each color. So even though this is dripping really nicely, it still feels heavy. And I think it's just because white is heavier than the other colors. So I don't know whether I should just, it also looks a little lumpy, so I'm going to keep stirring. Okay, so I took away this green. I decided as I was sitting here looking inside the cups, I decided I don't want to use this green. So we could always make changes like that, but we are going to add black. And since I am using this black from a tube, this is from Liquitex, I am going to mix it with water first. And I'm not going to add a lot of black because it might overpower. I just want enough to maybe it'll outline the cells a little bit. It would be nice if it would do that. So I'm going to add some Floetrol. Anyway, just to give some contrast and have more definition with the cells. If we add just a tiny little bit. So I'm just going to drizzle it like really lightly throughout. Mix these up really good. Wish I knew what color red this was. It doesn't really tell you on the bottle, but it's kind of like a warm red, I guess. Looks a little cadmium. I'm going to add a little bit of water to each of these. I don't want it to be too thick. When your paint is too thick, when it dries sort of lumpy. What I mean by lumpy is that it actually has craters in your paint. It's not totally flat. And I've made that mistake in the past. So I learned this technique because I wanted to have a sort of play date with my goddaughter years ago, and we had a really good time. We did about 6 paintings in an afternoon, and she loved it and I loved it. We just had a really good time. It was a great thing to do with kids. Let me add a little. This one still doesn't seem to be pouring very quickly. I want it to really come off the spoon edge and like drippy. There we go. This one's nice and drippy. A little bit more. So I'm adding more Floetrol to the white because it still felt kind of heavy, and I'm afraid of I don't want it to crater. And I use white a lot, so if I have any left over, that's okay. Okay, so now is the time when we add our silicone to the paint. I'm only going to add it to these 3 colors here. The black and the white I'm not going to add. And you don't really mix it up. You just kind of swirl it around just a little bit. I make an X. So now I'm going to take my spoons out so they're not in the way. Yeah, I can't say it enough. You must protect your countertop. I like these drop cloths from the hardware store because the paint, when it dries, you can literally peel it off of here, and it's nice and smooth on the other side. It's really cool, and then you can maybe use it in other projects. So we are now, a little bit of black got in there. I am going to start making stripes. So I'm going to start with the green. I love this green. And I'm going to put a little bit of red up here. A bit of purple right in between here. Now I didn't make as much purple, so I'm going to use it sparingly throughout. I particularly love the purple, violet, whatever you want to call it, along with that green. Add some more up here, and here. Now here we go with the black. Try pinching it so I can get a better control. And then I'm also going to put a little bit of white, just because I think I might need to. Okay. So the majority of our white is going to go up here. And we are going to need a postcard. I think I need more purple. right, hopefully this color combination is a success. We shall see. But anyway, we're going to use these postcards to swipe. And I'm just going to very lightly bring it down. Okay, I always have multiple postcards. I'm going to pull down again on this side because it was very white. And then I'm also going to go in the other direction. Now let me grab some. So I like these tools as well, because now you can sort of just play with the paint a little, so we're not quite so white at the top. And you have to be careful not to take so much paint off that you're down to the canvas. Now what I'm noticing is over here on the side, there must have been some kind of grease on the canvas. So what I probably should have done was wipe it down first with maybe some baby wipes or something to degrease the canvas. I'm not used to working with these store-bought canvases. Now another thing you can do is you can pick it up and sort of let it spill off the edge and let it change. This is kind of like what we do with dirty pours. And when you keep swiping like I'm doing, it makes different cells. And we have quite a few other places where the board was greasy. So I'm just going to have to go with it because it's repelling in those areas. We might have to do something after it dries. So I'm not so sure that this was that successful. But I just had another idea. Since I have all this white paint left over, I'm going to mix up 2 more colors, and we're going to try a different kind of swipe coming out from the center. So don't go away just yet. Okay, so we're back. This is the only other canvas that I had laying around that I could use. I was using it as a test on a wash to see how it would react. So anyway, I put my push pins, and I want to use up some of this like store-bought pouring paint, and I'm going to use up that green that I had mixed up earlier. And like I said, we're going to swipe from the center this time. Oops, let me put this in here. This is a very, very pretty blue. And with this really bright green and then the dark green, I'm hoping that we're going to get a great result. And then, of course, white out of the center. And that's nice and drippy. Not so drippy. I find sometimes that when you let paint sit, it sort of it gets a little gloppy again. I'm going to add some water. I didn't have a lot of this, this bright green, but that's okay because I think it might be nice to just have it peeking through. Okay. Oh, I have to put my oil. This is something I always forget to do. I'm going to try putting in a little bit less than I did last time. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to pinch this one because I think I want to control this darker color better. It still didn't work that good. Have it cross over a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to put my white down the center here. And I'm going to start to drag this way. Actually, I might need a little bit more white. Way now. And of course, I still forgot to wipe it down with some baby wipes. And maybe I put way too much white. So this is how you could really make it your own. It's not pouring, doesn't have to be just what you see, what you get, you know, like I poured it and hey, not happy with it, then you could start messing with it. But that color combination is absolutely gorgeous. I am much, much happier with this one. Okay, so it's the next day, and I love the way this one came out. This is the swipe that was from the center, and I love the colors. We just had 3 different shades of, one was a greenish blue, kind of an aqua color, and the other 2 were, one was a very, very vibrant green, and then the other one was a dark phthalo green. And the contrast of the phthalo really makes a difference as well. And then, of course, we had the white swipe. So the other one was also a swipe, and the colors are completely different. And we sort of lost one of the colors completely. I don't know. You just never know what's going to happen with an acrylic pour. But anyway, it's still kind of exciting. So didn't exactly turn out the way I thought it would, but I like it. Thanks for stopping by. If you like this type of video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and take a look around and see what else I've got. So I will see you next time. Take care.